Good morning, students. This is Jennifer Campbell, Library Director for Community Care College, Oklahoma Technical College, and Clary Sage College. Today I'm here to talk to you about information literacy. Simply put, information literacy is knowing how to use information, knowing where to find information, how to evaluate information in print, digital, and web format, and being able to synthesize that information into your coursework whenever you need it. You know, a lot of people think they haven't been to a library in a while, much less checked out a book. But that's not really true. If you've been to our OK Classroom webpage, then you've been to our digital library. We have 3 digital library pages, one for each campus. And since you're at Community Care College, you'll be using that library page for most of your coursework. Feel free to use any of the resources on the page. We keep those there for student use, and we hope that you'll make use of our resources. You can also contact me via the web librarian button. If you ever can't get a hold of me, feel free to email, but you can also like our Facebook page, and we will keep you updated with interesting articles and tips for your research as well. Today we're going to talk about learning to learn. We're going to talk about a method or a recipe for learning because it really is a process. And once you learn the process, you can add any ingredients or any information into the process, and you have a recipe for a really great assignment or presentation or essay or project or whatever your instructor will ask you to do to prepare you for your professional life. Everybody knows what this is, right? No need to even say it. Facts are easier to find than they've ever been. And that really is true. We're living in the information age, and you can find a fact just about whenever you need it. What sets the men from the boys is learning how to organize and synthesize information. We're living in the information age, so it's really important to be able to organize your thoughts, add new information into your thoughts, and really work in this remix kind of method. So we're going to talk about that a little bit today, and I'm really excited for you on your journey, so let's get started. We're going to talk about this idea that ideas come from within. Your learning comes from within, and we are really interested in your thoughts and what you're thinking. We want feedback from you, and we really want you to go through this process of becoming a professional in whatever you do. Your instructors are going to give you assignments. They're going to give you projects. And a project means that you work through this thought process that you're going to be asked to do out in the field, whether it be a lab assignment or a research paper or a report. You're going to be asked to do something similar in your professional life. And practice makes perfect, so we're really wanting you to get prepared. We also need to talk about plagiarism. Simply put, plagiarism is using the ideas and words or thoughts of others and representing them as your own. It's not super big or scary. Most people don't commit plagiarism because they have malicious thoughts or malicious feelings, or they're trying to be bad people, but sometimes it's really easy to get caught up in the research process and get really excited about your sources and not cite them accurately or not paraphrase correctly. So as long as you're making a good, honest effort, we'll be happy. And just in case, we're going to go through a few of the different types of plagiarism there is out there. So here we go. There are 3 different types of plagiarism. You can plagiarize a source, and this is obviously the most common type of plagiarism. This is the cut, copy, paste method, and a lot of students don't cut, copy, paste like they think, but you can mentally cut, copy, paste. If you're reading a source and think, oh, that sounds good, I'll just say that, then that really is kind of cut, copy, pasting in a way. So if you're taking really good notes, you can avoid this, and later we'll talk about taking good notes. You can plagiarize a peer, and this isn't as blatant as it may seem, but if you have a friend who's gone through the course before and you think, well, I might take their assignment and just change things around, you're really not going through the whole process, the whole project. We are not really going through that transformation that we want you to go through to become the professional that you want to be. So make sure you're going through the process and you're giving 100% because we're going to be giving 100% as well. You can also plagiarize yourself. Did you know that? Because think about it, you're not the same person that you were 6 months ago. You're not the same person that you were when you started your educational journey. So you're really taking the thoughts and ideas of your former self and representing them as yourself now. Also, if you're asked to do a project or an assignment and you kind of mail it in and take a previous assignment and just change it around, you're not going through the whole process that you need to go through to get more professional experience. So how can you avoid this? You can take and keep really good notes. And that means not just changing a few words around or not just highlighting in your book. I see a lot of students taking notes with highlighters, and I want to say, oh, goodness gracious, highlighting is not taking notes. What you're going to do is you're going to want to read a small piece of text. Read just a small paragraph or even a few sentences at first. It'll come easier with practice, but just read a few sentences at first. And then you're going to close your book or minimize your screen or put away the source that you were using and really think about it. Digest it, mull it over in your head. Then it's no longer the thoughts of the person who was writing the text, they're your thoughts and your reactions and your opinions about the text. This is what really matters to us. Paraphrasing is doing just that. It's taking the writing or the source that you're using or the book or website that you're using and turning it into your thoughts, not just your words, not just changing a couple of words around, but really converting it into your thoughts and what you think about it. That's what paraphrasing is. So if you're paraphrasing, you can avoid plagiarizing. Now, if you find a piece of text or if you find a quotation that you really like to use, that you just can't say it any better yourself, you can use quotation marks and put it in quotes, and you can use the piece of text that way. Be sure to cite your source at the end. Now, a citation is just a note. It's really simple. It can be as simple as listing the website, linking back to the website, inserting a link into your paper back to the original article, or you can use a formal citation. Our college uses MLA format for the most part. Some programs may ask you to use APA format, but MLA is just a format that makes it easier on your instructors to read and digest your paper. We all know that MLA is double-spaced, 1-inch margins, sometimes Times New Roman. Your instructor may require a different font, but a font that's easy on the eyes. It makes it easier for your instructor to read. And your citations can also be in MLA format too. That's really all a citation is. It's just a note that you've used a certain source in a certain format, kind of like a formula. This is an example of a magazine article in MLA format. I just made this up. There's no such thing as bird enthusiast, but I thought it sounded fun. I just wanted to give you an example. So here it is. This is an example of a citation in MLA format. You would put this on your works cited page if you used it in your report. And this is an example of a book. Different formats have different citations because if you're reading a book, it wouldn't have a title or different articles in it. You would just cite the whole book. Now you may be asking me, how can I remember all of these different formats? You can use a citation generator to generate your citations. This is easybib.com. It's one of my favorite citation generators because it's linked to WorldCat and it's a very authoritative source. It's also free. You may have to wade through a few advertisements, but it is a free way to get your citations. Now, a lot of people ask me, what's the difference between works cited and bibliography? A bibliography is just a list of books. For example, you might create a bibliography of useful books for student success. It would just be a list of books that I would recommend for student success. I didn't necessarily use them in a report, I just made a list of books for your reference. A works cited page is only the works or the resources that you have cited in your source or in your report. Now, my method for writing a paper or doing a project is I like to begin at the end. I like to visualize what my final product is going to be, and then I start backwards. I like to gather all of my sources and write a citation for each one. That way, I'm finished with my Works Cited page already, and I can just stick it at the end of my report when I'm finished, or at the final slide of my presentation. That way, I'm not stressing out at the end of my report and I have it all finished. Also, if you decide not to use a source, it's a lot easier to just not use the source, delete the citation, and you're finished. And now I'm going to talk to you about a method that I like to use for writing a report or doing a presentation. A lot of people think you have to begin at the beginning. And like I said, you can begin at the end, or you can even begin in the middle. Or not at the beginning, middle, or end at all, just the beginning of the process. A lot of people think it's a linear process. You have to do your report from start to finish, kind of like this record here. But that's not the way we listen to music anymore. This is the way we listen to music. We mix it up, we make our playlists, we make it seem logical to us. So this is the method that I like to use while I'm doing an assignment or I'm writing a report or doing a presentation. I like to use the create, rip, mix, burn method. And create, you're going to think about your ideas. Think about what you want to say. What's your message? And then rip, you can get resources from your library or from a database or from a website or a book and use those sources to support your ideas. And then mix, you're going to mix it together. You're going to decide which should come first, what should support your main points, and you're going to mix it all together. And then you're going to burn, just like you would burn a CD. Think about your final product. Is it going to be a report or a presentation or a website? What are you going to make for your final product? Take all your mixes and then burn it. Final product. Now we'll talk about databases. Our library has lots of different databases to support you in your coursework. We've pre-selected all of the databases for you, so there'll be quality information for you to use. The internet can be kind of like this. It can be kind of like a garage sale. You can find some treasures, but you have to sort through all the trash first. That's why we have a specially picked list of search engines and databases for you. And we never close ever, so when you're up at 2 a.m. and you need a source, feel free to contact us. And you might say, but I want more. I want more resources. I want a lot of resources. And while that's true, sometimes more is better. Sometimes more is not always better. When you have a database, you have a pre-selected bank of articles that you can choose from by searching, much like you would search the internet, but you're not searching the whole entire internet. You're only searching the articles that are in the database. All of our databases are located on okclassroom.com, and you can get to them by clicking Find Articles and simply searching in the search bar. I've also included a list of search engines from Noodle Tools, and these are specially selected search engines for specific searching. And like I said, if I wait until I 100% know how to use something, I'll probably never use it. So get in there, play around with it. You're not going to break it. Just see what you can find. You may not need it now, but you will need it later. So make sure you know it's there. Now, this is always the elephant in the room. People always ask me about Wikipedia. Just to define it, Wikipedia is half wiki and half encyclopedia. An encyclopedia means that it's a collection of small articles of information on a broad variety of topics. Wiki means that it's a website that anybody can edit. So just keep that in mind. Anybody can edit Wikipedia. However, there are two good things. Wikipedia is moderated. However, there are only approximately 11 moderators on staff for all that content. That's from NPR, just to cite my source. But there are only 11 moderators for all that content. So sometimes bad information can slip through the cracks. It happens all the time. And this is the end. Thank you so much for your journey with me through information literacy, and congratulations on choosing Community Care College. You've made a wonderful choice.